Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we will be looking at Game 2 between Panama Red and MacytheBlackCat. This is in the first round of my tournament. And yeah, I just decided I would record tonight. In Game 1, which Game 1 lasted like 6 minutes, it was an unsuccessful Marshall blitz for Panama Red, which led into an unexpected spy for MacytheBlackCat. So, captain in the center gets a sergeant. Not a ton. Okay, trades that off, meaning that he didn't want him hit down or left. Okay, so that's good for him. I think moving in and taking this piece would make a lot of sense because he just immediately traded that off. But it doesn't appear that's what he's doing. Yeah, so this is probably a good piece, and this is probably nothing. Yeah. Alright, applying some pressure here. Moves over. And I think we might see a Marshall pretty soon, based on how Game 1 went. Alright, and we see a major. Captain, so this is Panama's big chance to apply pressure on the left to get a material advantage. Trades in the center. I believe both those captains were known, so that's not really that important. Nothing really happening. So there's some shuffling. And I can't really say a ton of what they're doing when they're shuffling. But of course they're doing something, but I can't tell without seeing the pieces. So we find a sergeant in the center. Major on the flank. Okay, so there's the major. Macy is exposed a bunch of these mid-range pieces. So Panama is really going to want to take advantage of that. It takes a lieutenant, showing a major of his own. Yeah, that's I was going to say it's probably a nothing piece, and it is a lieutenant. Okay, so it's a very annoying lieutenant for Panama. Okay. That's actually very bad not to take immediately, because now you're giving unnecessary info that maybe these are something that he didn't mind you hitting so much. Like, I'm immediately suspecting a tripod, because I'm thinking that these are very likely to. Oh wow, oh we missed something big there. General trade. Yeah, so let's see what this piece is. Okay, hits on a bomb. I'm not sure I agree with that move. That doesn't seem like a very good move to me. Um, unless maybe you could justify it by saying these two are bombs, but I don't know. It doesn't seem right. Now, still, Panama is missing out on the chance to be aggressive on this side of the board. Because now he's up these two lieutenants, so even getting a captain would completely nullify his disadvantage in the lower pieces. So just being able to pick up one of these two pieces, which would be really important, especially now that the generals are off the board. So counterattacking is much slower with the colonels because both colonels can equally defend. And you don't need to just sit the general somewhere and hope that his general doesn't attack on a different part of the board. So that does seem to be what Panama's trying to do right now. This is a captain, this is a major. So, okay, and he takes. I don't agree with that move at all. But he finds the marshal, and he's got a pretty decent position. Um, yeah, keys to winning this game. He wants to pick up. Okay, isn't that the marshal? Okay, that's an interesting idea. Um, he's up 4 pieces for the major, so I'd say he's doing pretty well. Um, of course, trading is his friend because he wants to trade down to those 4 piece advantages. He especially wants to get the majors off the board because if he gets the majors off the board, then um, he he should be in really good shape because if he can just avoid losing 2 of these 4 pieces he has an advantage in, he should be in an excellent position to at least be able to hold 3 lanes and get the tie. Which, if he got the tie, that would prolong this series. Though of course he's looking to win, and he's got a position where he can potentially hope to win. So I think this is where he wants to be right now. Um, Again, I don't agree with coming with the marshal. The other, oh wow, that's a big development. Yeah, he should not have let him get a captain that easily, espe- um, especially with a colonel, because now that colonel, if we just played a trade game, that's traded off. Majors are traded off. There's still an unknown major, so you're likely going to lose another piece. And if you lose another piece, then you're going to lose the game because it's going to be a classical 2-on-1 with the small piece advantage and the superior piece, so he can choose which lane he wants to control. So this is um, started to go downhill quite quickly. Even though he does pick up another minor piece, if he can pick up enough minor pieces, he should have a decent position. Um, yeah. Also, note that since Macy has moved these 2 back row pieces, he's gotten rid of a lot of potential tripods. Now there are only these 2 as potential tripods, and I know Macy doesn't really run open flags that often, so we'll have to see. I'm thinking that this is a tripod, if I had to guess. Also, if you want, you move this piece down and then you scout. That's just typically how you do that. Hmm. Alright. Also, no, I was wrong about this being a bomb. However, this, yeah, that was pretty predictable. However, I strongly suspect this to be a bomb. This has moved. I think this is the marshal. This is a bomb. So, bomb, likely bomb. Maybe some tripod like this with a extra bomb. Not sure. Also, the miner situation's interesting. So even if he manages to trade down, not losing a lieutenant, this will still likely be a draw because he only has one miner to work with, and Macy, if he plays it right, should be able to make sure that that one miner doesn't have a shot at the flag. Okay, colonels come off the board. Now I'd say it's probably in Panama's best interest to get the marshals off the board just to avoid losing. Because what Panama's trying to do is he trying to get the pieces off the board so that his lieutenants can become much more powerful. Because let's say if everything is just traded off, then it would be three lieutenants versus uh, mm, a minor and a major. So he is an extra piece. And when you have an extra piece, you want to get into that position. But of course, in the meantime, Macy will try to use the untraded pieces to get an advantage. Also, a memory error there, and that's not good at all for Macy. For um, for Panama, but he's getting the pieces traded off, which is what he needs. Um, now it's now the pieces are even. Uh, this tripod's off. This tripod's obvious, and we can see Panama's an open flag, which is problematic because we have a pretty good idea on two of his bombs. We know one for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I was right about this being a bomb, wrong about this being a bomb. Oh, wow. Okay. That's key. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is really, really bad for Macy. Now Macy's going to have to guess right on the flag. Yeah, and he's just going to be able to remove this sergeant from the board, so he only gets one guess, knowing two bombs. What would I hit? I would probably hit this one. I think this seems like the most logical one. Or maybe this one. One of these two, I think. Maybe the corner. Alright. Okay. Let's see if it's this one, which would probably be my top pick. Okay, no. Macy has to understand that he has to lotto. He's not in it. Oh, wow. He could have taken the last minor. That's wild. Okay, now obviously has to lotto. Okay, I guess. Yeah, so I was wrong about my top pick on the flag. What was probably the flag? I think this would probably be my top pick now. But of course, I'm just guessing. I don't have a great way of knowing. Anyway, I'm curious, are they gonna play again? Yeah, they are gonna play again. Okay, so we'll jump into this. Yeah, these are very fast, very interesting games. There is something to be said for playing a fast style. Um, you don't see you don't see many players at the top that have these really fast styles. You see, Zach has it. Tony Law has one. Um, and then you see it with a bunch of the lower players. Um, but some very, very interesting games. Yeah, just waiting for Macy to set up. Hmm. Just waiting for Macy. Okay, and here we go. A decisive game 3 is underway. What happens to the winner? Where are we over here? Yep. Okay, the winner will almost certainly play Jakaros. So pretty much a death sentence. Um, yeah, I guess this kind of explains why these games are so competitive. Um, because this must be, if they're playing to decide who gets to play the 2 seed, this must be a game between the um, 34 and 31 seed. All right, we find a general. Oh, wow. That's devastating for Panama. Yeah, that's absolutely devastating. Interesting, a center bomb. You don't see a whole lot of that anymore. All right, so this won't be a bomb here. I'm pretty sure. It'd be crazy if he bombed off the center by find island likely. It looks like he's going to just go. Wow, and yeah, that should do it. It is looking as though Macy is going to advance to the second round. So after a very hard fought game, um, game 2, where Panama managed to eke it out in what came down to a lotto for the flag. Macy was able to win a very fast game after a failed general blitz from Panama. Um, so in games 1 and 3, Games 1 and 3 were both very fast. They were blitzes, which ended quite poorly for Panama. And then Panama didn't blitz in game 2, and it went very well for him. So I think that's some feedback that he can take out of this. He got a win in this tournament, so that's a good thing, and I'm sure he'll be the better for it in the next event. Very a pretty 3 pretty interesting games for him. So very glad he was in the event, and Macy, of course, will get to advance and face Jakaras. Does this thing update? Let's see. Yep, it updates immediately. SC must have updated this. Must have updated the system, because before it wasn't sending people to the next round after they won 2 games. It was just it wasn't updating the bracket. Yeah, let's see if not much action on my part of the bracket yet. Dave won game 1. He will play Javilo pretty soon in game 2, and as the heavy favorite. Holland won a thriller in 3 games after falling behind 1 game to nothing. He will face either Gooey Buoy or Fairway. Gooey Buoy is the favorite in that match. Tony Law will face off against Battle Tested. Tony Law is the favorite. Rask or Merchant of Death, he got the win by forfeit. He will face off against Tober Moriax or Pepico. That should be an interesting matchup. Flocky is a 1-0 lead. And then we have Unseen Hero against Rob Roy. He won that 3 games to nothing, so they played an unnecessary game 3. And this was also very interesting. Bagas winning in 3 games against Archimedes. Anyway, so that basically concludes what's occurred in the first 2 days of my KO championship. Be sure to subscribe for updates on what's happening, and I'll see you guys soon, and I'll probably post some of my games coming up. I'd like to record this. My opponent has not responded to my message yet. Alright, see you guys.